Look at your surname. Do not view it as a simple modern convenience or an empty sequence of letters on an identity document. It is a trophy forged in blood, cold, and despair. It is the physical and undeniable proof that your family survived a mass extinction event. In the year 1066, William the Conqueror did not cross the English Channel merely to win a battle and wear a crown. He initiated a systematic process of total annihilation. After the carnage at Hastings, he confiscated absolutely all native lands. To crush any hope of rebellion, he ordered the infamous Harrying of the North, a scorched earth campaign where invading armies burned crops, salted the soil, and killed over 100,000 people through forced starvation. The intention was to reduce a once proud people to servile slavery, cataloging every human being, every cow, and every piece of land in the Domesday Book, erasing Anglo-Saxon culture from the face of the earth. But if you carry one of the names on this list, the invading king and his Iron Empire failed miserably. Watch this video until number 1. Because the last surname on this list belongs to the ancient caste of unbreakable champions, warriors whose genetics refused to bow their heads and bend their knees to the military elite of Normandy, and the brutal instinct that kept them alive, breathing, and fighting after the end of their world still runs silently, yet lethal, in your veins. Number 7. Freeman. The absolute and visceral refusal to be a slave. After the Norman Conquest, the vast majority of the native English population was reduced to the condition of villeins, miserable serfs bound to the land and entirely submissive to the will of merciless foreign lords. The name freeman is no linguistic accident. It is a declaration of social war engraved in history. Your ancestor fought masterfully, risking their own life and those of their children to maintain their legal and moral status as a free man. While the feudal lords of stone tried to put iron chains around the necks of all their people, your lineage dug their feet into the ground, used the loopholes of the new law, and the sheer power of obstinacy to keep their land. They guaranteed the divine right to answer only to themselves. Having this surname today means that your genetics cannot bear, and will never bear, chains. Number 6. Woodward. The relentless guardians of resistance in the shadows. When the Normans took control of the island, one of their cruelest tactics was to transform vast expanses of native woodlands into royal forests. In these places, slaughtering a single deer or boar to feed a starving family was a brutal crime, punishable by forced blindness, mutilation of limbs, or immediate hanging. The Woodwards were the true masters and guardians of these forests. They knew every dark trail, every hidden cave, and every clearing better than any invading sheriff dressed in chainmail. Your ancestor mastered the rules of an oppressive system to survive within it, deceiving the Norman patrols, protecting the rebels in the shadows, and living on the edge of lethal danger day after day. Your blood descends from forest strategists who made the environment itself a weapon of survival. Number 5. Earl. The nobility that bled but refused to die. Before the Norman fleets arrived with their arrogant new titles of dukes and counts, the Eorls and Jarls were the absolute blood leaders, the formidable Anglo-Saxon and Nordic warrior chiefs who ruled the island in great mead halls. The new empire tried to strip away this title, destroy the halls, and extinguish this ruling class forever. But your lineage refused to accept the demotion and erasure. Carrying the surname Earl meant that, even stripped of their ancient castles, even pushed into the mud or oppressed by new foreign monarchs, your family kept their ancestral pride burning like a furnace. The neighborhood, the peasants, and the rebels knew perfectly well who they truly were. You carry the blood of uncrowned kings who endured the darkness without ever forgetting the weight and glory of their own name. Number 4. Alden. The fierce survival of language and blood. Derived from the Old English Ealdwine, which means old friend, this name represents an authentic miracle of cultural resistance. In the dark and bloody decades following the invasion, the military and social pressure to adopt French names like William, Richard, or Robert was crushing. English was banned from the courts, demoted to a peasant's tongue. Those who kept old names were ridiculed, hunted, marginalized, and excluded from any chance of rising in the new society. But your ancestor looked into the face of the empire and did not yield to the cowardice of assimilation. They baptized their children in the forbidden language of their founding fathers, risking everything to preserve a biological and linguistic link with the true and indomitable England. Your surname is the glaring proof that your family was the shield that did not allow cultural erasure to take hold. If your surname is here, attesting that your lineage defeated the Norman extermination machine, subscribe to this channel now. We reveal the scars of war and the genetic secrets that the modern system tries to make you forget every day. Join us and finally understand what you are made of. Number 3. Reed, marked by blood and fire. From the Old English word reed, which means red, this name identified the men and women with hair on fire, or features marked by the warrior heritage of the Nordic invasions and deep Celtic genetics. In a world where the new elite tried to homogenize the population, silence the different, and impose a new standard of obedience, your lineage stood out in the crowd, unmistakable, fierce, and impossible to tame. They were the survivors who did not need polished armor or engraved shields to prove their worth. The Celtic and Anglo-Saxon fury, the passion, and the determination were visible on their own faces and in their relentless lineage. They walked as visible reminders that the ancient blood of the island continued to boil beneath the occupied earth. Number 2. Goodrich, the brilliant transformation of an insult into the most unbreakable shield of honor. Originally Godric, meaning the ruler of God, this was one of the most respected and noble Anglo-Saxon names in all of pre-conquest history. Because of this glory, the Norman invaders hated it deeply. After 1066, the French nobility began to use Godric as a vile insult, a pejorative and sadistic term to spit in the faces of the defeated natives who had lost everything they loved. What did your family do in response to this humiliation? They adopted it. They embraced the slur and forged it into an impenetrable steel coat of arms. Your ancestor looked straight into the eyes of the empire that despised them and assumed their own identity with a lethal pride, turning an offense into the family's battle cry, ensuring that the name lived long enough to see the end of Norman oppression and the fall of their tormentors. Number 1. Kemp, the relentless fighter, the champion, warrior fury in its purest and most brutal state. Derived from the Old English sempa, this name was strictly reserved for elite combatants, hardened veterans, and hand-picked champions for hand-to-hand duels. When the invading armies broke the shield walls at Hastings, took the people's weapons, and sacked the nation, your ancestor was the man who refused to be tamed, even when unarmed. The Kemp genetics carry the formidable weight of men who settled the matter of survival based on absolute physical strength, tactical aggression, and the instinct to kill or be killed. They lived in a savage post-war world, where the slightest weakness or hesitation meant the immediate death of the family, and they thrived. They are the final and irrefutable evidence that conquerors can break stone castles. They can steal swords, but they will never be able to tame the blood of a natural-born champion. The enemy's sword failed to cut the neck of your lineage. The tyranny of William the Conqueror turned to dust and rotting bones beneath the earth. The haughty descendants of his barons crumbled. Their stone castles today are nothing more than tourist ruins. But the native and warrior English blood prevailed, absorbed the monstrous impact, and forged the foundation of the modern world. The name you carry today is not a mistake of fate or an accident of the journey. It is the breathing proof, walking on earth, that the extermination failed. Embrace your iron heritage. Go down to the comments now. Write your surname with all the fury and pride of your ancestors. Use this section to scream to time and history that the heavy swords of 1066 were not sharp enough to cut the tree of your life by the root. Your lineage defeated annihilation, survived doomsday, and will continue to win.